Heaven has scheduled something for your life that no man, no enemy, no circumstance, and no darkness can cancel. This very moment is sacred. Do not take it lightly, because the difference between a life of wandering and a life of destiny often comes down to whether you recognize God's timing when it knocks at your door. Too many people waste years ignoring the signals, brushing off the whispers, walking away from the opportunities that God places before them. But you, yes, you who are listening, God has chosen to speak to you now. He is not waiting until next week. He is not waiting until next year. He is saying, now is the hour. Now is the time. Now is the day of your awakening. If this word finds you before October 5, then it is a divine signpost that you are being called into alignment with what God has already decreed for your future. You see, God does not speak randomly. Every word has a target. Every message has a destination. And when God decides that a message should find you before a certain time, it means your life is about to enter a new season. October 5 is not just a date. It is a marker. It is a threshold. It is a door that separates what has been from what shall be. And if this message has reached you before that door swings wide, then God is preparing you so that when you step across, you will not stumble but rise. You will not fall but stand. You will not be broken but built. Let me ask you, why do you think God sets times and seasons? Why does He declare that there is a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to build, a time to tear down, a time to begin, and a time to end? Because nothing under heaven is random. Your life is not random. The challenges you have walked through are not random. Even the tears you have cried are not wasted. God stores them. God counts them. God knows. And when the moment arrives that you are ready for the next chapter, He will send you a sign, a word, a call. That is what this message is for you today. For too long, you have carried the weight of questions. You have asked, when will things change? When will the breakthrough come? When will my pain make sense? When will my prayers be answered? And God is saying to you now, the time is closer than you think. The answer is nearer than you believe. The shift is already at your doorstep. But listen carefully. God's timing requires your readiness. If you walk into a season unprepared, you can miss the fullness of what He planned for you. That is why this message has reached you before October 5. God is giving you advance notice. He is saying, prepare your spirit, align your heart, remove the distractions, silence the noise. I am about to move. Some of you have been waiting for a sign, but the truth is, God has already sent you many. You were too busy, too distracted, too wounded to notice. But this time, God has made it undeniable. He is speaking through this message saying, enough wondering, enough hesitation, enough delay. You cannot stay in the old chapter when I have written a new one. You cannot remain in the shadows when I have destined you for light. You cannot stay chained when I have already declared your freedom. Hear me clearly. If you are listening now, you have been preserved, you have been carried, you have been protected, even in ways you do not see. Many times, the enemy sought to destroy you. Many times, circumstances could have crushed you. Many times you thought you would not make it. And yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, still listening. Why? Because God would not allow your story to end before the promise was fulfilled. The very fact that you are alive to hear this word is proof that the enemy's plots have already failed. What was designed to bury you has only prepared the ground for you to rise. Do not underestimate what God is about to do in your life. You may look around and see nothing changing yet. You may glance at your situation and wonder if anything is moving at all. But God does His greatest work in silence. Seeds do not sprout the moment they are planted. Roots grow deep in the dark before the fruit ever shows on the surface. In the same way, God has been working in the unseen places of your life. He has been arranging, preparing, aligning, orchestrating. And now, He says, watch. The season of hidden growth is shifting to a season of visible breakthrough. But let me warn you, when God begins to elevate you, do not expect everyone to celebrate you. Not all will understand. Some will doubt. Some will resist. Some will even envy. That is why God sometimes isolates you before He promotes you. He pulls you away from people who cannot carry the weight of your calling. He removes voices that would drown out His instructions. He strips away the crutches you have leaned on, so that when you rise, you will know it was not man, not chance, not luck, but God alone who lifted you. And this is why timing matters. If you hear this message before October 5, then you must take it seriously. Do not dismiss it. Do not shrug it off as just another motivational word. This is a divine summons. God is saying, rise from your slumber. Shake off your excuses. Step out of your fear. I am ready to move if you are ready to trust. Too many people wait for perfect conditions before obeying God. But I tell you, perfect conditions will never come. Faith is stepping when the ground looks uncertain, because you trust the one who laid the foundation of the earth. Faith is obeying when the path is unclear, because you know God sees the end from the beginning. God is calling you to trust Him with a deeper surrender, to stop clinging to what is comfortable and to begin embracing what is eternal, to stop looking at what you lack and to start walking in the abundance He already promised, to stop replaying the failures of the past and to start preparing for the victories of the future. Your life cannot be defined by what was lost. It must be defined by what God is about to release. You may say, but I am not ready. I am not worthy. I am not strong enough. Let me tell you, no one God calls is ever ready in human terms. But when God chooses you, He equips you. When God calls you, He strengthens you. When God sends you, He covers you. Do not measure yourself by your own weakness. Measure yourself by God's limitless strength. Do not measure your future by your past mistakes. Measure it by God's eternal plan. And if you think your mistakes disqualify you, let me remind you, God is a master at turning brokenness into beauty. He takes the shattered pieces of your story and uses them to build something unshakable. The scars you carry are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you survived. And what you survived becomes the very testimony that carries power for others. God does not waste pain. Every trial you endured has prepared you for the mantle you are about to carry. Before October 5, you must decide, will you believe God or will you doubt Him? Will you step into faith or remain chained by fear? Will you prepare your spirit for breakthrough? Or will you sleep through the alarm God has sounded? The choice is yours. God has already declared the promise, but you must choose to walk into it. You must choose to align with it. You must choose to believe. Do not think lightly of this moment. This is a prophetic interruption. God has stopped you here because He wants your undivided attention. And I say again, congratulations. For if this word has found you before October 5, it means you are on the verge of a divine unfolding that will exceed your imagination. Doors will open that were once sealed shut. Relationships will be realigned. Opportunities will arise that you did not seek. Strength will come that you did not know you had. And most of all, the presence of God will overshadow you in ways you have never experienced before. Lift up your eyes, because what is coming is greater than what has been. Lift up your spirit, because God is nearer than you realize. Lift up your faith, because this is not just another season, this is your appointed time. And if this message reached you before October 5, then heaven has already written your name into the next chapter of God's unfolding plan. Congratulations. If this message reaches you before October 5, you are standing on the threshold of a sacred turning point in your destiny. Do you understand the gravity of that? Many scroll through life endlessly, numb to divine whispers, deaf to spiritual alarms, and blind to the signals of heaven. But you, right now, have been arrested by a message not crafted by man's intention, but carried by God's timing. This is not mere coincidence. This is God's deliberate hand. He has intercepted you in the flow of your ordinary routine because He has chosen to deposit something extraordinary into your spirit. If your heart is beating as you hear this, it is because the eternal God is summoning you into a deeper awareness of His purpose for you. Before October 5, the heavens are realigning things in your life. You may not see it with natural eyes, but the movement has already begun. God shifts seasons long before the world notices them. The air changes before the leaves fall. The tide moves before the waves crash. Likewise, God has been quietly stirring behind the curtain of your life, repositioning people, closing doors that no longer serve you, and opening paths that lead to your divine assignment. And if you are hearing this message now, it means you are on the front edge of this shift. God is telling you in advance, so you will not be caught unprepared. You must understand something vital. God's timing is not man's timing. While people operate on clocks and calendars, God operates on seasons and purposes. October 5 is not just another date in the human calendar. It is a prophetic marker in your life's timeline. If you treat it as ordinary, you will miss its extraordinary meaning. If you prepare, however, you will step into it with clarity, strength, and courage. Too many let divine opportunities pass them by because they thought tomorrow would look like today. But God is saying to you now, Tomorrow will not look like today. Tomorrow is pregnant with transformation, and you must ready yourself to deliver it. Think of how God has always moved. He called Noah before the rain fell. He directed Abraham before the journey began. He warned Joseph before the famine struck. He never leaves those he chooses without a word of preparation. That is what is happening here. This word is your preparation. You have been asking God for clarity, for direction, for a sign. This message is your answer. It is your warning and your promise wrapped in one. It is God saying, I am about to unfold a chapter you have never seen before, but I will not let it catch you unaware. I am giving you notice. I am instructing you now. And what is He asking of you? He is asking for surrender, not a half-hearted surrender that only offers Him what is convenient, but a total surrender of your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, and your plans. God does not ask for partial trust. He asks for complete trust. He asks you to let go of the grip you have on your own understanding and to lean fully into His wisdom. Some of you have been holding on to control so tightly that your hands are bleeding. Yet God says, release it. Place it in my hands. Let me carry what you were never built to carry. But here is the truth. Surrender is not weakness. Surrender to God is strength. Surrender does not mean losing. It means finally winning where it matters most. When you surrender to God, you step out of the fragile safety of your own plans and into the unshakable covering of His will. When you surrender, you stop striving in circles and begin moving in straight lines. When you surrender, you stop surviving and start thriving. God cannot fill hands that are clenched tightly around what He is asking you to release. He cannot pour into a vessel that refuses to be emptied. And that is why He calls you now, before October 5, to loosen your grip, to open your heart, and to allow His Spirit to flow freely through you. Do not underestimate what God wants to accomplish in you. Too many have been tricked into believing that their life is small, insignificant, or overlooked. But God says, I have placed eternity within you. I have written greatness into your DNA. I have woven purpose into your very breath. You are not an accident of birth. You are not a mistake of circumstance. You are a deliberate design of God. And if He has preserved you until now, it is because your story is still unfolding. Every setback you endured was not to destroy you, but to shape you. Every disappointment was not meant to break you, but to build you. Every storm you survived was as a training ground for the authority you are about to walk in. And I tell you this, before October 5, God wants you to awaken to the reality of who you are in Him. Not who the world says you are, not who your failures say you are, not who your fears whisper you are. Who God declares you to be. He calls you chosen. He calls you set apart. He calls you appointed. You are not defined by the labels men gave you. You are defined by the identity God stamped on you before you were even born. And the time has come for you to rise and live in that identity with boldness, conviction, and unwavering faith. But let me speak with clarity. This awakening will not come without resistance. When God prepares to elevate you Forces of opposition will always rise. Do not think it strange if you encounter sudden obstacles, strange warfare, unexplainable tension. It is not a sign that you are off course. It is proof that you are on the brink of breakthrough. The closer you move toward destiny, the more violently darkness tries to push you back. But remember this, no weapon formed against you will prosper when God's hand is upon you. The enemy may form the weapon, but God has already disarmed its power. He may roar like a lion, but he cannot devour what God has sealed. Your survival until this very moment is proof enough that God's covering is stronger than any attack. And this is why you cannot afford to enter this new season with old chains, old bitterness, old grudges, old fear, old doubt. They cannot walk with you into October 5. They are dead weights, and if you cling to them, they will drag you down when God is trying to lift you up. Forgive where you need to forgive. Release where you need to release. Close the chapters that have already ended. The new cannot come while you are clinging to the old. And God says, I am ready to give you new oil, new strength, new vision. But you must empty yourself of yesterday's residue. There are moments in history where everything changes. Moments where nations are redefined, lives are redirected, and destinies are rewritten. October 5 is one of those moments for you. It is not just a day on the calendar. It is a divine reset, a holy interruption, a spiritual gateway. And if you hear this message before that day, it means God has trusted you enough to prepare you in advance. Not everyone hears, not everyone receives, but God has chosen to alert you ahead of time. Congratulations, because it's not ordinary. This is sacred, so stand tall, lift your head, strengthen your faith, because the God who carried you through storms will now carry you into promise. The God who held you in the valley will now set your feet on the mountain. The God who saw your tears in the night will now clothe you with joy in the morning. And you will know beyond doubt that it was not luck, not chance, not accident, but God alone who brought you here. If this message has reached you before October 5, I say again, congratulations. Not because you stumbled across mere words, not because you happened upon a passing inspiration, but because God Himself has chosen to speak directly into the depths of your life. You have been entrusted with revelation, entrusted with warning, entrusted with promise. And what you do with this moment will determine how you walk into the season that is about to unfold. You cannot leave this word behind as though it were just another passing sound. You cannot hear God's voice and then return to life unchanged. When God speaks, it is an invitation, but also a responsibility. He is not only comforting you, He is commissioning you. He is not only reassuring you, He is awakening you. He is saying, rise, stand, live with courage, walk with faith. Step boldly into the purpose I have already prepared for you. The days ahead will not look like the days behind. God is declaring a shift, and you must choose whether to step into it. Will you remain bound by fear, or will you rise in faith? Will you continue replaying the failures of yesterday, or will you allow God to write a new chapter of victory? Will you waste the opportunity to align with His timing? Or will you seize this sacred moment with all the strength of your soul? The choice is in your hands, but the power to carry it through is in God's hands. So here is your call to action. Consecrate yourself. Strip away the distractions that have been choking your spirit. Silence the voices that have drowned out God's whisper. Forgive those you have held in chains of resentment. Release the burdens that were never yours to carry, and above all, trust. Trust with the kind of faith that moves mountains. Trust with the kind of surrender that brings peace. Trust with the kind of boldness that refuses to bow to fear. Stand before God tonight, tomorrow, and in the days leading to October 5, and declare with your whole being, I am ready. I am surrendered. I will not miss what you have appointed for me. Let these not be hollow words, but a cry from the depths of your soul. For God has preserved you, chosen you, and now He calls you to walk into destiny with the strength He Himself provides. And as you cross into this new season, remember this: the same God who created the heavens and the earth, the same God who commands the stars and directs the oceans, is the God who walks beside you, within you, and before you. Do not shrink back. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt. Step forward with courage, for your appointed time has come. Go forth. Then, not as the same person you were yesterday, but as one awakened, empowered, and unshakably anchored in God. Let your life become a testimony that when God speaks, and when His child believes, nothing on earth or in the heavens can stop the unfolding of His divine plan. Now the call rests with you. Will you rise? Will you believe? Will you surrender? If this word has reached you before October 5, then the heavens already resound with your answer. Step into it and let the world see what happens when a life is fully given over to God. He calls them into fire, into discipline, into devotion. And when He marks a season on the calendar of history, it is because He is ready to reveal His power to separate the faithful from the faithless, to lift up those who trust Him and expose those who only spoke His name without truly walking with Him. After September 30, 2025, the world will be shaken, but those who stand rooted in God will discover a strength, a peace, and a divine covering that no force of darkness can break. Do not misunderstand me. This is not a message of fear. It is a message of preparation. God is not warning His people so they tremble. He is preparing His people so they stand. He is not calling you to hide. He is calling you to rise. And those who rise will see wonders. Those who remain half-hearted, those who play with sin, those who bow to the spirit of laziness and compromise, they will see the emptiness of their choices. God cannot be mocked. The seeds you plant now are the harvest you will reap when the world enters the new season ahead. After September 30th, 2025, the masks will be torn off. The hidden will be revealed. Those who claimed faith only with words, but denied it in their actions, will stand exposed. But those who have kept their hearts pure, those who prayed when no one was watching, those who disciplined their lives to honor God, they will shine like lights in the darkness. People will look at them and ask, how are you still standing when everything is shaking? And the answer will not be found in human strength, but in the shelter of God. Mark this clearly, the days ahead will not be easy. There will be confusion, there will be struggle, there will be storms, but do not let that shake you. Because storms are not meant to destroy the faithful. They are meant to reveal their foundation. When the winds blow, when the waters rise, it will be clear who built their life on the solid rock of faith in God and who built their life on the sand of comfort and compromise. After September 30, 2025, the difference between these two will no longer be hidden. It will be visible to all. This is why I cry out to you now with urgency. Do not wait until that day to prepare. Do not say, I will change tomorrow. Do not say, I will get serious later. Later will be too late. The time to prepare is now. The time to draw near to God is now. The time to discipline your spirit, to rise in prayer, to kill the laziness that chains your destiny. It is now. Because when that day comes, there will be no time to build what you neglected. You will either stand ready or you will fall unprepared. But here is the promise: those who choose God now, those who surrender their whole heart, will walk in a covering so strong that no power of darkness can touch them. When others are afraid, you will walk in peace. When others are lost, you will walk in clarity. When others are broken, you will walk in strength. God Himself will be your shield. He will guide your steps. He will make a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert. His hand will not leave you. His eyes will not ignore you. His presence will not abandon you. But that promise is not for the careless. It is for the faithful. Understand this deeply. After September 30, 2025, God will call His people into greater responsibility. This is not the time for passive faith. This is not the time for empty words. This is the time for action. God will separate the ones who say they believe from the ones who live as if they believe. And the call upon your life will grow heavier. But do not fear that weight, because with every burden God places, He also provides the strength to carry it. With every assignment He gives, He also pours out the grace to fulfill it. You are not being called to stand in your own power. You are being called to stand in His. The days ahead will expose where your trust lies. If your trust is in money, you will be shaken when money fails. If your trust is in people, you will be broken when people disappoint. If your trust is in comfort, you will collapse when comfort disappears. But if your trust is in God, then nothing, no storm,